Welcome back to another track test video here at Toronto Motorsports Park, where today we're trying the Slip Angle's very special NB Miata. This, of course, is Quinn from the Slip Angle channel, and if you're not familiar with their stuff, go and check them out. They produce some really great content for car enthusiasts like you and me, including a lot of Miata stuff. You are a former spec Miata racer. I am. You have a lot of passion for this chassis.
Yeah.
And this car you've been building for quite a long time.
Oh yeah, it's one of my babies.
This is like a forever car. You don't tend to sell cars, do you?
I don't. So
it's good at buying them but not selling them.
This is definitely a forever car. Majority of my automotive experiences were in this car. So first time out on track, first autocross, like first full motor build.
Right.
The whole nine is with this. So it's a lifer.
It's a pretty special car. You kind of described it to me as a bit of like a GT3 style build. You really wanted to have it be like perform at a higher level, but still have a lot of like quality feel to it.
So I always wanted an S2000 when I was younger, and this is like, I bought this car when I was 21, so I didn't have a high budget and I couldn't afford an S2000, so I built it to be a comparable like S2000 contender. This is not winning races, but I wanted it to be faster than the stock S2000, and I love like what Porsche does with their 911s and their GT3s, so it's like kind of like a track car for the street, but something that you still have like creature comforts and a nice pleasant interior to be in. So yeah, I applied a lot of that to the philosophy in this build, and I just kind of set it up so it really just does what you want. If you want to hoon it, you can hoon it. If you want to drive neat and tidy, you can drive neat and tidy. I grew up on Hot Version and Best Motoring, and Keiichi Tsuchiya was pretty much my driving idol, so like this is my Hachiroku basically.
We got to get him some green gloves for his videos, and man, I gotta say, it looks like a blast in your videos. When I saw that recent sort of like road test, sort of like cinematic video you did summarizing the car's sort of experience, I really fell in love with the sound of the motor. You've built like a high compression ITB motor for this thing, which is pretty special. Yeah, so it's still a 1.8 liter. It's 12.5 compression. It's taken 100th off of the head, which is a lot of skimming. I don't recommend doing that. Yeah. But I just cleaned up the ports in the head myself. So I wanted it cheap and easily reproducible. It has the individual throttle bodies, Marua 264-degree intake and exhaust camshafts. They're 10mm lift. And then it has all the supporting mods for that. So SuperTech, lightweight valve train, titanium retainers, upgraded single valve springs, very lightweight clutch and flywheel combo, 7-pound flywheel. It's all 1.6 Miata for the smaller diameter. Nice.
Like more revier. Mazda speed, 6-speed. Torsen 4.1 out the back. Yeah. And I know I'm forgetting some stuff. Oh, Marua BP race setter. So like that's kind of important. And then full 60mm exhaust.
And what does it rev to now?
We're revving it to just shy of 8,000, so like 7,900. So you're 8,000.
Wow, 8,000 out of the BP. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. And on the dyno, it put a pretty healthy number up.
So on the dyno jet, it did 185 wheel horsepower and 136 foot-pounds.
Wow.
134.
That is a killer BP setup without touching the bottom end. That's remarkable.
Yeah, I had to do a little Dremel work on the pistons to clear the valves.
Right.
But that's
it was a non-interference motor that he now has made an interference motor, which it did a little creative with tensioning the timing belt. And inside, the interior is beautiful. You did a really nice job in there. You put like Lotus Elise seats in it?
Yeah, so they're European Lotus Elise Sport 160 seats in it, and I wanted just like going to that GT3 philosophy. I love they used to do that green stitching, and green is my favorite color. Has nothing to do with like Keiichi. Yeah. But I just wanted to incorporate it like subtly throughout the interior. So there's like leather wraps and Alcantara touch points and all green stitched. Yeah. So that's just kind of.
It's great, and I love the duckbill trunk lid you have on it. It's a beautiful NB. I got to say, it's probably the best NB I've ever seen. Oh, I'm super stoked to drive it. So I think Quinn and I are going to go do a little exploratory lap together, and then I'm going to try turning a hot lap for y'all. All right, boys, here we are in Quinn's badass NB Miata, and this thing is beautiful inside. He's got these really cool custom gauges that he got from Adam at revlimiter.net, I think is his URL. He built me those Speed Academy horn buttons for my Celica, and man, these gauges are really nice. He's got all this leather wrap stuff in here from Redline. I think it's Redline Customs. They're out of Europe somewhere. They make like leather shift boots and trim panels and stuff for a bunch of cars, including Miatas, obviously. And it's just all really nice in here with these Lotus seats. But really, I think this car is about the engine, the ITB noises, and just the way Quinn likes to tune his cars in this very like, emphasis on driving joy as opposed to just trying to build the fastest car he possibly can. He really wants his cars to be fun to drive and to really like talk to him and be playful, and let him drive them, you know, with slip angle, as his YouTube channel's name would suggest. So, and I really share his philosophy. I think, you know, I'm at the point in my life where I just want to go out and have fun and go for a rip in a car that talks to me. And I know Quinn built this car so it would talk to him, and I can tell you already it's talking to me because, man, ITB noises. Who doesn't love the sound of 4 throttles on a little screamer of a BP motor? And wow, this car already feels really different than our Miata. It's on Toyo R1Rs and a 225, and of course it's on those Enkei RPF1 tires, and it has a more direct feel to it. It's got more spring rate than our car, I would say, and that means it's, you know, it's got more roll stiffness, but it just feels really nicely dialed in. Revving it out to 8K, I mean, a BP to 8K, and it's got much shorter gearing than our car too. So with this 6-speed transmission, and I think he said it's a 4.4 final drive, if I'm not mistaken. You can check me on that one, internet, if I got it wrong, but man, she is a screamer. Just putting some heat in the tires. It's a pretty cold day here today, so the last thing I want to do is hurt Quinn's baby, because this thing is a work of art. So I'm just gonna take my time here, put some heat in it, and then try to get a lap time that's not embarrassing. Just put some new Hawk HP Plus brake pads on it. Oh yeah, it's sliding around a little bit there. Man, it sounds so good. Using the curb a little bit there. Oh, kind of blew that corner a little bit, but I think I could roll 3rd gear through here, where in our Miata we really can't, or we could, but it's not the fast way, I don't think. The change in gearing is really so different than our car. It's kind of catching me out a little bit, but what a beautiful machine this is. The gearbox has a really nice feel. Little double downshift there. Oh yeah, it's got a little bit less grip than our car, because this tire, I think, is just not as grippy as those Nankangs that we run on our Miata Challenge car, but feels so well balanced. All right, I'll try to get a little more aggressive on this lap, see what I can do for a lap time here. Oh yeah, we'll slide through turn 1 there. You can trail brake it nicely. Really is quite happy to rotate with a bit of trail brake, like let it slide there a bit. See if I can really chuck it into the S's here. Into 3rd. Listen to those throttles open up. I gotta go to 4th there, the gearing's so short. I got a good run out of that middle straightaway, and kind of caught me out with just how much quicker I got down there, and needed to get into 4th. Great car this is. Oh my god. Man, this motor's so responsive. You can leave it in 3rd gear through here, and it doesn't feel lazy the way ours does. Yeah, I think you can use 3rd instead of 2nd in a lot of places. Maybe that's partly because of the 6-speed gearbox and the higher final drive, but I think a lot of it is just the motor is so responsive. What a machine this is. Really starting to feel like I've got a rhythm going with it. It's a rhythm car and a memento car, as you would expect from a Miata, but this is such a special one that kind of took me a minute to kind of feel what it wanted. Oh, a little brake lock up there. This is so much fun, Quinn. Thanks for towing this up from Connecticut. Loving it, loving it. All right, Quinn, we'll just jump right down to the business end of things here and show everyone that we did a 124.7. And frankly, I was just kind of getting in a rhythm with the car, just kind of familiarizing myself with it, because it's so different than our car, with the difference in gearing with the 6-speed. And what final drive is it? 4.4?
So 4.1.
4.1, okay.
Yep. So it is busier, but you get almost 1,000 more RPM, so it gives you a little more mile per hour in the gear. But I was busy out there too. So.
Yeah, you are definitely like just learning about what gear you need to be in a lot more than I would be in our car, because I'm just used to it.
Right.
But wow, what a beautiful engine. It sounds amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Just having that extra 1,000 RPM to me just somehow makes the car feel completely different. It kind of gives it like you said, like that S2000 vibe.
Yep.
Between the sound and the revs, it's just like the car feels so much more alive.
It's just that little bit of extra like experience.
Man, and I love it. And just that interior, sitting in that interior, it's like no Miata I've ever been in before, with all the leather and the suede and the custom gauges. It's just such a cool experience to drive it. So thanks a ton for letting me go for a rip. I really do appreciate it. It's awesome. I mean, for this track, it's a little too stiff.
Yep.
And we could sit here and make adjustments to it and chase lap times all day long, and I'm sure it'll go a couple of seconds faster.
Oh, absolutely.
And you've already proven you're faster than me, so I'm sure if you went out there, you could rip off a better lap time than that. But who cares? Like, you built this to be an experience car, right? It's
not about winning races. It's just the drive.
It's about how it makes you feel.
Yep.
And man, I felt like a younger man driving it. It really was a lively car.
Yeah.
And man, I really want to like change the final drive and maybe put a 6-speed in our car now, because it changes it so much.
Oh, yeah.
And ITBs, Peter. I know we struggled a bit with the Gen Vs on our S2000, but ITBs sound so good. I got to get my Celica running. That's what I got to do. Maybe when I get my Celica running, you'll come back with this thing. We'll have ITB battles. That's what we'll do.
Maybe by then our beers will be a little bit more gray.
You can grow yours out. We'll have beer battles. We'll have ITB battles. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. And thank you, Quinn, and all the Slip Angle guys for coming out here. Really appreciate bringing the NB up. And he's got a bunch of other cool cars on the channel. Maybe next time you can bring your RX-8. I'm a former RX-8 guy.
Maybe.
We got to do that one, or what else you got going there?
I feel like we have a future of making trips up to Canada.
Yeah, see, this track, it's friendly for this kind of stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah, awesome.
Give us a 2 thumbs up for what is quite possibly the coolest NB in the world. At least that's where I'm putting it on my list. You guys let us in the comment section where you're putting it on your list, and go check out the Slip Angle. Lots of cool stuff there, including that NSX video you just did.
Yeah, we just did an NSX review.
That's another car we got to build, Peter. NSX.
Oh, don't
comment
even get
section.
me started.
Find us an NSX, please.